Over in Ocala, hundreds of people held signs and shouted chants at an MLK march also. City and county officials, organizations, students, and church groups participated. The 2-mile march began at the Ocala downtown square, and it has been a tradition in the city since the 90s. One of today's speakers says the purpose of the march is to gather people of all races and remember the late activist.
The march is a significant of Martin Luther King and his dream and his accomplishments that he did fighting civil rights, fighting for the Voting Act, the Housing Act, all those things that he was marching and protesting for in a nonviolent way.
The march came to an end at the Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Center, where people enjoyed food trucks, speeches, and music.